Welcome back viewers in the course. Now in this lecture we will actually validate and insert the data into database which is coming from this form. So basically we could actually validate this form with JavaScript or jQuery, but we have a little bit validated it with HTML5, but now I think it's enough to validate it in a PHP because that would be easy for us, and without wasting time we can complete this section. So now the first thing is to that create a function here, and we are getting the data from this page, I mean from index.php, from this form. So this form has no action and the method is post. Other all inputs you can see here. So the button name here, this is important, the button name is sign up, and we have already established a connection as well. So let's start here. First of all, we need to create a connection here as well, another connection. So we'll just copy this whole thing and we'll paste it here. So this is the connection, because that is a different connection. This we will use for when we need in another pages or somewhere, but in functions.php we have first of all created the connection right here, and after that we will say function insert underscore insert user, just not underscore. The insert I is capital and the user U is capital. This is just I have added them. You can add any name, but just for the purpose it is appropriate. Insert user as the function name, and function is created like this simple syntax: two parentheses and then two curly brackets. You can pass any parameter in these two parentheses, and you can also leave it blank, but the actual thing, the actual method or process is inside these two curly brackets. So we'll actually create a function for validating and inserting the user data into our database. So first of all, we'll say if a set $_post inside this two square brackets and then these two curly brackets again. What I am saying basically, if is a statement, conditional statement, which checks inside the first two parameters. I mean this is the first these two parentheses which you can see, the first one and the last ones are for this if statement. And inside that we have added another function which is isSet, and inside that isSet function we are saying if the method of the form is post and a button which is called sign underscore up. I'm talking about this button name sign up. If that button is active or set or pressed or whatever, in case that is clicked, then just we are expressing here, you have to actually add the expression here in the second, I mean in these two curly brackets. Basically in the first you add a condition and then you give the expression here, right here. So if that is clicked, before that note the function and note this code should execute or should run, but if that button is clicked then do this. First of all, we'll create local variables. Local variables are always created with this $sign. So the first thing will be creating some local variables in PHP and storing the data which is coming through this form we have inside the index page. So first of all, we'll say name of the user will be equal to $_post, because we are using post method in the form, so we will get the data using the post method. Now just go and see what is the name, u_name. We can actually get the data from these fields by targeting this name which we have given already to each input tag in the form. So just simple, we'll say post u underscore name. So this PHP script will take, the post method will take data from uname and will pass that to this name, which is a local variable basically, and we can create local variable with any name, but here it is appropriate name, I mean name of the person. We can name in anything. Now I will copy just for saving the time this and will paste it again and again a few times. So just we can change the next one to upass, sorry, this password type should be password. So second will be pass is equal to upass. Third will be email, local variable will be email. In this data we are getting from post u underscore email, inside the two single commas and inside the two square brackets. Now let me check the third one, I mean the fourth one, which is country. You can see here the name is u country, the select box name is u country, so we have to add that. First of all, we'll create the local variable country and say u country. The next is gender, and we'll say user gender, and this local variable will be gender. The next one is birthday, this is birthday, and we'll say b underscore day. So it's mean it is birthday, and the name we have given there is u birthday. So okay, u underscore birthday, that's it. The last one, okay, let's check now our table right here, the users table inside our database. In the structure of this, what we have more here, the image will just insert an image which is, I mean, default image. So later on when they are logged into their account, the users, so they can change their default image, which will be just an avatar or simply a thumbnail. So that is simple thing. Now registered date will get the date in the last login as well, and the status will be by default unverified, but after they read the email, so they can just click and they will change the status from unverified to verified basically. In the post is a later thing, but by default it will be no. So later on when the user posts something in our social discussion board, so we can then make it yes. So let's create another variable. It will be equal to date. This will be equal to date function basically. Date function is by default in the PHP, through which we can get the date. And the date will be something like first of all will be day, then I mean this dash sign, and then m mean month, then y mean year. That's it, pretty simple. Now to create another variable, it will be status. This will be equal to just the text unverified, set, and another local variable post will be equal to no. So this is all done. Now if we want to actually a little bit validate the form, something like, for example, we want to check the email whether it is existing in our database or not, or in our table. So we'll check this. For that, first of all, we will just insert a user, a dummy user to this table from here. Right from here you can insert anything right from this interface. Just click this insert and you can insert anything to this table. So we'll say, for example, username is Abdul Wali, password is Wali Khan, user email is awparishan@gmail.com, date is this one, and another registered date is this one, and last is this one, whatever. Status no, status unverified, and post no. Just go, and you can see now we can see a user here which I have inserted myself. We can just now just validate or check this email whether it is existing or not, or whatever email the person has basically. So what we will do, we'll say first of all get email, a local variable we have created. Basically this will be equal to, we will write a query here inside the inverted commas like select and then this steric sign. The steric sign means select all from what, from users, which is the table basically I'm talking about, and we already have the connection right here above in the start of this functions page. So we say select all users from the from this users table, or we are saving that query, my SQL query, in this local variable, and then we say run email, another local variable which will be equal to my SQL I underscore query. This is by default a function in PHP for executing a query, a MySQL query, and this MySQL query function needs two parameters. The first one is the connection, the reference, because where is the connection? That is the connection saved in this local variable here, this one I'm talking about. And the second parameter is basically the query itself, this one. I will say get email. So now we have the query inside this local variable run underscore email. Now the next thing is just create another variable local which is check. This will be equal to another function which is MySQL I underscore number num underscore rows, and this needs only one parameter which will be the run email. So what does it do? It actually counts this MySQL function actually counts all the records in the table and says if it has a record or not. So now here using the if statement we'll just do something. We'll simply validate the email. We'll say if check is equal to 1, that's mean we have this person, because we are just selecting all the users and then say run email MySQL this and that, check email, run email. Okay, we need to actually specify the user, where user, let me check. Yes, user underscore email is the field name inside the table, so we can select a particular data in the user. So we'll say if where select all from users, but where user email is equal to this email which is coming through the form directly, so it will get exactly that record. If we have that, and we are running the query and saying in the last we have all this query and everything in last check thing, this check local variable which is checking whether this query is equal to 1 or 0 or whatever. But we are saying if it is equal to 1, that means we have a user already with that email. So here we will just say echo, and we will say in h2 tag we'll say this email is already registered. H2 close, and we will actually use exit, a PHP command which is exit. Exit means exit from here. I mean, do not execute or run the rest of the page or rest of the code. So basically this is very simple. Now control is to just check whether it's working or not. Okay, first of all, this is functions.php page. You can see we have to, wherever we want to actually make this work, wherever we want it to work, so we have to include this there. For that we need to use the include command. Right after here, after the doc type, we'll write PHP and simply we'll say use include command. Very simple command by one line, and we'll say include, go to the functions folder, and then there is a file functions.php, include that. Really simple. So we have included this functions.php page whole file here. Now we can use this function wherever we want. We have created this function as insert user. So let's come and say something here. We'll use this right over here after this form here. We'll again add PHP and say insert user. This is really simple. We have just called that function here, insert, which is the name of the function there in the function.php, insert user, this two parentheses, this is just some text to call a function.